Wayne Carey has won the toss, kicking to the scoreboard end in wet, wintry conditions here at the MCG. Denham gets the first handball away, but it's going to come back, and the free kick will go the way of Stevens for North Melbourne.
Essendon playing a six-man forward line, Sandy, whereas the North Melbourne side have got 5 forwards.
Here's Stevens kicking down towards the half-forward line, down towards Carey. Got a hand to it, unable to complete the mark, but they've got the numbers there. Comes the way of Crocker, bends it round his body in towards the left forward pocket. Robertson and Robert Scott are both there. The boundary line beats them both. Here's Peter Kransberg. Essendon just scraping home last week by the skin of their teeth against Fremantle. And North absolutely humbled by Sydney as Mercury gets a hurried kick into the centre. It bounces over the circle towards Big Steve Alessio. He is caught, but he gets it away to James Hurd. Hurd gets another hand pass clear. Now a chance for the running O'Donnell. He takes it and kicks them inside 50. That's better, and the mark is taken by Cummings.
Strength and composure shown by the captain on that occasion. He was being run down. He knew that Delanchenko was right on his hammer, but just steadied and got a good kick away to Cummings. Now Cummings could kick this. They'll be playing with a new ball every quarter. Adverse weather day today. There's Cummings getting away from Martin.
30 goals, 18 he's booted for the season. Really starting out in his career. This is his 34th game, and the Essendon players wearing the black armbands for the late Doug Bigelow. That's a good-looking kick. That is a great start by Cummings and the Bombers.
It is a good start because the ball is still relatively dry, and if you can capitalise on the dry ball, well, you've taken advantage in the game. It'll get slippery, it'll get heavy as the quarter goes on, but they will be playing with a new ball every quarter. This is the build-up. O'Donnell doing well. You can see there, just being tackled. Good chasing.
Ball's thrown back up in the middle. McKernan goes early. Denham tries to run through the pack of players. Rock gets it forward, just about 20 metres to the edge of the square. Leading in the race was Berbatov. To ground was Scholl. Off the ground goes Simons, and a boundary throw in centre wing. Early going of this first quarter, and the Bombers just the one goal. North not yet past the half-forward line.
In these conditions, Malcolm, who do you like?
I do like North a bit. Perhaps they do play a shade more direct than Essendon, but should be a great game. Stevens tries to burst through. Danaher's caught. McKernan tries to go off the ground, and Somerville tries to go through McKernan, and players work it towards the boundary line. Michael Pryor.
What about you, Don?
Yes, I'm going for North Melbourne, Sandy.
Just 20 games now, starting to establish himself in this Essendon side. So the two big fellas right in front of the members. Somerville, big jump over the top of McKernan. Swash, heavily bandaged arm from that first round encounter with Nicky Winmar when he shattered his arm.
It's a great effort to come back so soon too.
So Somerville and McKernan will go at it again on centre wing. 1 goal on the board at the moment to Essendon. Scott, Doolan at the bottom. Over the top was Masiti. Scholl is there also. Doolan's got him. Wayne Schwass is there. And another ball up. We've got Hayden Kennedy, we've got Greg Scroop, and we've got the Geelong Gardener, Brett Allen, in charge of proceedings today. Hurd comes racing to the football. Picks it up beautifully. He needs help desperately. Gives it across to Mercury. Another one. Oh! Over the top.
Very slippery in the centre.
James Hurd on the defensive side of the centre circle. Kicks up towards half-forward. Mickey Martin was defending there. Lost it. Doolan tries to shovel it out. Almost succeeds. Young goes even further. Masidi to Berbatov. He runs into a brick wall and he's been beaten.
Stevens plays on quickly. Kernan has to sit and wait. Somerville pushes him underneath the ball. Harvey drops the chest mark at the back. Has time to recover. Kicks towards the boundary line. Hurd. Blakey is marker. Kicks it over Danaher's head. Very intelligent kick into open space. Wanganeen races out to the boundary line. Tries to keep it in play with a kick. And Yes.
This ball now very, very slippery. We saw Harvey try to mark that on half-back. The rain coming down here at the MCG. And conditions not conducive to good football.
Farmers will be delirious, though.
Unbelievable kick from
Well,
Winger,
depends on where you've got your farm, Sandy. If it's in East Gippsland, I think you'd still be wondering where is the rain.
Rock and Wanganeen. Wanganeen tries to go off the ground, get some yardage towards the goal square, but can't get his boot on the ball, so boundary throw in just behind the post. Essendon into attack. The one goal, North yet to score. Somerville grabs it out of the air. Great tackle from Fairley, puts him on the ground. Somerville taps it back to Buick. Very slippery conditions to Cowthorpe. Given to Doolan. Doolan swings the ball forward. Fantastic attack on the ball. Cummings ends up with it. Great smothering work here by North Melbourne defence. Simons caught. Cowthorpe caught. Now ends up with Danilchenko and North are away.
It's been a fiery start by Essendon. They're throwing everything at North Melbourne as Harvey has got to try and beat a couple of them. Namely Carey and Stuart Anderson. And the ball up just in North's attacking zone. This time over the line. Pretty good crowd in attendance today, considering the conditions, and most of them
Undercover, Sandy.
is able to get under the roof of the stands. But they should be in for a very exciting contest. From the throw-in. Again pushed towards the line with Stevens. He eventually sails over there after jostling for it with his teammate Anthony Rock. Had the super sopper out on the ground for the hour preceding the opening bounce, and it's certainly taken quite a bit of water. Simons to Mercedes. Scott's got him. Schwass on the ground gains 25 metres with a handball.
Oh, so this is going to be a very low scoring game.
Boundary throw in right in front of the members. Hard work for the players. Slippery. Rain still coming down. Lights on. Terrifically taken out the air by Scholl. Kicks the ball forward. Punched away by Essendon. Coming hard at it. And out on the full against Berbatov. And this will be a free... No, it's actually going the other way. Well, that's the way I actually read it to start off with. And I think Anderson will take this kick. Yep. It's actually a North kick. He has to wait now for the umpire to call back time. Greg Scroop, Western Australian umpire.
I think it was Ben Doolan trying a con job, wasn't it?
Yes, it might have been. Goes the check side. Oh, that's a goal. Oh, it's at the post. It just looked to be turning beautifully, and I just thought it was going to die at the end, and I'm sure you did, Don, with the great skills of Stuart Anderson.
Berbatov. Tucked in the back pocket. Ignores the Somerville lead and goes directly down the ground, finds Simons. And he is away. Sean Denham up towards the half-forward line. Alessio, great soccer work twice by Alessio. Now the North Melbourne defence forced to work hard and push it back towards the half-back flank. Joe Mercedes taken over the line, but the football isn't. Picked up by Robert Scott. Tumbles a punt back towards centre wing. Simons has followed it down. He's got to go back to Doolan. He can go short if he wants to, and that's okay. He finds Alessio. Ignores the Hurd lead and wobbles a punt kick up towards half forward. Wanganeen is there, so to Mercury. Now Danaher. Around his body to Buick. He leads it for a goal. Chris Danaher in game number 99 has given the Bombers their second.
Well, actually, it wasn't a bad play by Alessio because Essendon normally goes short, but here he is trying to get into the ball. The ball is not going to be easy to handle as there. It could slip through the hands in conditions, so it's better to get the ball down. Mistakes are going to occur. He goes short. The guy may turn it over.
But back in the centre, Freeborn under pressure, kicks, squares the ball really, comes out wing side. Simons goes off the ground. Didn't try and kick it too hard. Really just tried to time the ball onto his boot. Wanganeen, he also goes off the ground. So we've got a bit of soccer here. Martin caught. Tremendous pressure at the back now by the Essendon forwards. Players all working hard. And the kick comes forward and finds Crocker from Dean Laidley. Goes back into the middle. Carey with last fly and takes a very good chest mark.
That's a smart mark too. Chest wrapped around that ball, classic.
Goes in the Roberts direction. Does go very wide. Probably a low percentage play. Roberts tries to keep it in play. It actually sits there. Anderson back to Roberts. Quickly onto the boot and misses the lot. Very wide kick on slippery conditions days. The kick really has to be perfect with a player, opposition player, right up the jumper. So
Berbakov's got the job on Carey.
Michael Pryor hasn't missed a game yet this season. Comes in short to Kransberg.
Pryor going with Crocker.
Peter Kransberg from the back pocket. Comes towards centre wing, towards Somerville and McKernan. At the back was Harvey, and taking it over the line is Stuart Anderson.
Simons going with Scholl. Stevens looks like he's hurt himself. He's being picked up by Calthorpe.
An excellent start by Essendon. 2 goals on the board. North Melbourne, the one behind, after North won the toss. Socket off the ground again by Sean Denham. There'll be a lot of that in these conditions. Former Cat. See another throw in.
Sean Denham, you can see in the foreground with Anthony Rock.
From the throw in, Stevens went for the big punch. Oh, Calthorpe, cleverly done. Straight up in the air to half forward. Schwartz almost gave away the free kick. Heard back to Calthorpe. Calthorpe keeps on going like a steam train. Now he's eventually taken out of it, ripped off the football. They push it back towards the centre, towards half forward. McKernan comes charging out. And it's going to go the way of Kransberg.
It's off the ball. Roberts pushing Kransberg out as McKernan came in to try and take the mark.
So again, the North attack repelled. He looked towards Hurd. Here's a chance for Simons. 55 out, a left foot pass in towards half forward. Poorly directed. Archer takes the mark and defends well.
Goes wide to Martin. Has players out on that wing. Now lets to go long in the Carey direction. Big jump, big mark.
Oh, that's an excellent mark.
A big test here for Berbakoff at centre half, back on the champ Carey. Kicks forward, McKernan makes a contest of it and will get the free kick for a high tackle. Corey McKernan doesn't waste any time, just throws it forward. Danilchenko in front. Great defence there by O'Donnell and Harvey.
The other important thing, Malcolm, in days like today, in front, the ball's going to drop.
Generally speaking, you are 99% right, Don.
I would have liked to have had that other 1%, but then again, I don't suppose.
No, because there's still an art to read the game, and sometimes on a day like this, even a kick over the top will come your way. And even a kick will go out of bounds on the full. So it wouldn't have mattered where you were standing then, Don, you wouldn't have got it.
That's the 1% you're talking about.
That's exactly right.
Thank you.
Simpson onto the ground, incidentally, for North Melbourne. Stevens with the football. Tucked right on the boundary line. So it'll be a centering kick. Danilchenko is one of 2 or 3 big flyers. Pushed on the other pocket. That's just about out of the full. Bouncing on the line. There's Glenn Freeborn. Throw in with North still looking for their first goal. Scholl couldn't get an effective kick away. Calthorpe locks it up. And the bottom is Crocker. So another ball up in the right forward pocket. Carey there as well. Crocker had another fresh air shot and it's taken over by David Calthorpe. This will be a pattern, I would imagine, for most of the day. It's going to be a tough old slug out. Almost having his feet taken out from underneath him was Anderson. Stevens into full forward. Good fist away is going to be effective to Calthorpe. Gets boot to ball hurriedly past Stevens. Up towards the half-back flank. Stevens will keep it in play and swing back onto the left foot. A centering kick in towards half forward. Scott is there, unable to take the mark. Simons pounces upon it. Scott's at the bottom of the pack. It's shoveled out. Now an opportunity for Mercedes. He loses the slippery ball. It's like a piece of soap. Flicked high in the air. Oh, it looks pretty good from Laidley. Just off target. And one behind to Dean Laidley at North Melbourne. 10 points, the margin, with some 10 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
It's pretty desperate stuff here as Essendon try to hang on to stop this goal coming from North Melbourne. You think would come if this pressure is maintained in their forward line. O'Donnell, as he's had to do, bursts away to the other side, coming out to Danaher, but Freeborn chips in beautifully. Under enormous pressure, must have felt the player, took a terrific mark. Well, that's a lovely leg.
Oh,
That's a lovely long leg. That's a great kick from Glenn Freeborn. That's their first.
what a leg he has got. He's got two long legs, Glenn Freeborn, but he's got a lovely right leg. A lovely long right leg. Well, and there it is again. We'll see that lovely right long leg. How it makes contact. And what a remarkable athlete he has, because his left leg's obviously a little bit shorter than the right, and he wears a boot that builds it up. So that's excellent play under the extreme duress.
North away again. Laidley runs through centre wing. Kicks to half forward, carries the target, and he takes it on the chest.
That's his third mark. Gee, wet weather, he's playing in front. Chest mark. Took a beautiful overhead mark on the outer side. But he's just playing this to perfection, these conditions. Well, Freeborn got one from a similar position. Can this man do it? I think he can. He fancies himself.
If he's accurate, North will hit the front. He's kicking from 47 metres. It's a drop punt. It looks pretty good, and North have hit the front. Two goals, to Essendon's two straight. What did you think of that leg, Don?
Oh, listen, Sandy, had this game have been played in Brisbane last night, the rarefied air up there, these fellows would have been sending the ball enormous distances, especially with that fellow with the lovely long right leg.
Yes, we're back in the centre. Northerners in front. Tapped out by McKernan. Calthorpe goes back with a handball. The ball back near the centre of the ground again. Scholl runs at it fairly hard. Gives it off to Freeborn. Lovely left leg that too, long one. And that lands into Mark Harvey's arms. Mark Harvey goes short. Calthorpe has to kick it quickly as the pressure comes. Swash has to stand and wait. Danaher does well on hands and knees. Scholl goes back to Laidley. Stands, kicks. Here's the contest we're looking at. Carey in front, almost again.
He's got it. That's his fourth mark.
And one of the tricks here, of course, is that it's very hard to mark from behind, and Berbatov does has to start reading it. Goes to the top, spirals it forward. Denelchenko with his left hand pushes it down for McKernan. He turns, snaps towards goal, across the face, and surely out of bounds. So, exciting piece of play there by North as they move the ball forward.
Malcolm, I mentioned before about the playing in front. Do you think Berbakov's waiting for that 1% to come over the back? He's trying to read the play, but the 1%'s just not going his way at the moment.
Here's Carey, about to have a shot, gives it to Crocker, puts it across the face into the pocket, and the mark has been taken by Denelchenko.
Don't forget, if you control the ball up forward, the forward has to make the first move, otherwise the backman's just guessing. So all he's been caught is a half a metre behind, and he's been in every contest. Carey's just too big and strong in front at the moment.
Denelchenko has kicked 11-6 for the season. Tight angle, wet ball, 30 metres out.
Excellent.
Oh, he's got it straight through the middle. This is a big effort by North to come back.
Well, he's wearing Donald McDonald's old number, 25. Donald was a great club man down at North Melbourne. And Jason Denelchenko's got it. Here is Kerry once again. Ball being shot across the face of goal. The battle between Delanchenko and O'Donnell. Gee, did a courageous thing before O'Donnell down the other end of the ground, running with the flight of the ball. Great captain's effort.
Here's Delanchenko with 12 goals for the season now. Starting to become a goal kicker up forward for the Blues. Tapped out by Stevens. Given to Anderson under pressure. Now to Simons. Swings the ball out very wide. Really a low percentage kick out there to Alessio. And fairly quite easily pushes it over the line. That's really with Don where you'd like to see the centre-half forward stay at home, I think. Stay at centre-half forward, make the players run to him. Fairly. Somerville does well in the ruck there. Caught behind was Wanganeen. Swash just having trouble picking it up. Archer doesn't. Gives it off to Denham. He goes back forward. Back over the pack of the players. Lately back there first. Got support from King. King runs hard now and goes bang for the boundary line. And Scholl leading in the race, but surely he'll let that go out. And now he does.
Under 7 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Essendon opening up with the first 2 goals. North Melbourne hitting back hard and playing extremely well in such trying conditions. So the throw-in sees Cransberg get it down to Calthorpe. Kicks it to half forward, fisted away by Scott from Mercedes, picked up by Martin, tumbles a punt back towards Scholl. Around his body, he flicks it up towards right half forward. Pryor got a bad bounce. McKernan is at the back. Does it nicely past Somerville, in towards the forward line, and the mark is taken by Anderson.
Another great mark. He was running with the flight of the ball. That was a courageous mark. Quite a few players wearing the Michael Jackson look, the glove on the left hand. Rory McKernan. I think Anderson's doing exactly the same.
From 35 metres, nothing wrong with that kick either, and North have got their foot. Four goals in 6 minutes, Don.
Yes, no, it's good play, Sandy. I mean, that was an excellent mark. Just watch this. The hard thing to do there is the one glove McKernan. Watch Anderson going back with the flight of the ball. Hard thing to do knowing that maybe O'Donnell could be coming from behind.
So back in the centre. McKernan, Somerville. Falls to Rock. Read beautifully by Mercedes. Kicks and Mercury in front. That's a well-judged chest mark. Wants to go long, kicking flat punts. The ball will bounce, and unfortunately on a day like today, normally you see those bounce and skid through in a pretty straight line, but just the point for Mark Mercury.
King brings it into the outer side, dangerous figures. James Hurd backs back with the ball. Does it beautifully. Then he goes to Cummings, and now the Bombers have a chance to score their third.
Well, his first goal, or the first goal of the game, Sandy, came from this side of the ground from Cummings. It's going to be interesting to see what he does with this. He's asking for the towel from the trainer to drive the ball off. He had no trouble at all in making the distance. Really didn't wipe the ball properly, only wiped it on one side.
Dean Wallace in the meantime is warming up. We could see him shortly for the Bombers. But here's Cummings from 52 metres with a drop punt in towards full forward and belted over the back, conceding the behind. Plays 4-2. King again. What will he do this time? To himself. And over the head of Buick to Anthony Rock. From the back pocket he goes towards the charismatic Mick Martin. And Mick is away. Up towards centre wing, towards Corey McKernan and co. The Bombers will be the first to recover in the form of Cransberg and Doolan along to Masiti. Oh, Joe had it and then lost it. An opportunity for Freeborn. He kicks it in towards half forward. Can a mark be taken? Yes, it can! By Delanchenko.
Somerville off and Wallace on now. Wallace is going to the forward line, maybe Alessio on the ball, and Wallace is centre half forward or forward pocket.
For his first game this year, he's played only, 11 games in some 3.5 seasons, Dean Wallace. There's that mark again by Danilchenko.
Could have been a free kick because, as you saw there, O'Donnell hand over the shoulder.
This for his second from 43 metres. It looks good. It is good.
Well, our first multiple goal kicker, and that is Jason Danilchenko. Kicks from Baroni away. Been down North Melbourne quite a few years. Transberg, Doolan combining, and here's Freeborn. Just watch the value of putting yourself in front once again. Second grab, good effort.
Yes, we're back in the centre, and the Northerners in a real purple patch here. Goals coming at will. Alessio does well out the centre. Meeting it is Laidley. Great smother. Great smother from Wanganeen, and then a free kick for holding on to him. So could this be the turnover and stop the rot for the Bombers? Kicks, Hurd in front, and falls over the back. And a pretty good mark there to King in front of Buick. So David King looks wide, hugs the boundary line really. And the North players just from behind go the spoil. And quick kicking over the line by Simpson, and another boundary throw in. One of the youngsters in the side, just 12 games. 14 games, sorry. 12 this year. No boundary throw in. Alessio works McKernan under it again. Seedy with a quick kick, dribbles it to the centre half forward area. There's Buick, goes on hands and knees, gives it to Mercury, sets up Calthorpe. Calthorpe from 45 metres finds Buick.
That was excellent play at centre half forward. The way that Wallace skidded in, picked the ball up. He really did set that up.
So Darren Buick for his first, and the Bombers have stopped the run. Yes, it was actually Wallace's done called, yeah, just on the ground. So that was a good touch for him. Good goal.
Oh my word, that was excellent play. I just wanted, he summed up the situation. Well, look at this. He traps it. Well done. Well set up by Wallace.
So North's run of 5 goals has been stopped for the moment by Darren Buick. 12 points the margin. Alessio over the top, wins it to Sean Denham. He pumps them down towards the 50 once again. Down towards James Hurd. Mercury applies a lightning tackle. Back towards Calthorpe. He's at the bottom of the pack. Somehow it comes out. The kick is high. Down towards Buick again. He gets a bad bounce. Fisted clear. Towards the boundary line goes Cummings. Buick's there with him. Going to be kept in play. Now pressure on King, but he's equal to the task as he swings around to the half-back flank. And it's going to be okay because he's found his man in Simpson. Towards Anderson, in fact over the top. Socket forward, inside 50. North now in with a chance with just a couple of minutes remaining to score. Carey for goal across the face. And out of bounds, right forward pocket. But deep in the attacking zone for the Roos. They lead by 12 points. Scholl to Doolan, who'll just run it through from behind. 5-3. Plays 3-2.
Interesting that ruck change, Don. Just changed the game a little bit. Alessio going into the centre.
Yeah, well, what McKernan's really not making contact. He's jumping a mile too early and missing the body of Alessio.
Kick out to Pride into Kransberg. Has to kick it in the end as the pressure came. Hurd up the ground, runs hard at it. Terrific stuff. Very slippery ball to handle. McKernan kicks smartly smothered. Goes into centre half forward. Falls to Freeborn. Wants some run from support. Got it from Swash. Swash has to hook it round. Can't do it enough under pressure. And a stand and wait. And Anderson's got it.
It should have been a free kick anyway to Anderson. where I'm watching the game, O'Donnell had him with the left arm around the body.
So Stuart Anderson has kicked a goal, and Gary O'Donnell a couple of times now caught behind, and players pushing back have been able to mark the footy.
He's already kicked 1 goal, won this man. Beautiful goal from the opposite pocket earlier.
Was designated kicker at the back, and he's a lovely kick, Norman. Oh, that's no exception. He's got the Roos 6th goal.
Started slowly, North Melbourne. Essendon, 2 goals on the board before they'd even got going. It looked like Essendon might go away, but credit to North Melbourne. They've certainly come back and come back well. The high ball from Schwash. Look, the hand of O'Donnell around should have been pinged anyway.
Just on 1.5 minutes remaining this first quarter.
Kransberg and Roberts doing the ruck work.
Yep. And neither getting a decisive tap. Danaher tries to win it out of the middle, goes down towards the 50-metre line. Wanganeen slides away from the ball. Freeborn had it and lost it. Oh, Wanganeen beautifully again to Kransberg. Kransberg in towards goal. He's kicked it.
Wearing Ken Fraser's old number. Peter Kransberg came off the bench last week, and when he did come on, he let that left footer go down the opposite end of the ground from the 50-metre line, and what an inspirational goal it was. He's just gone into the ruck against Roberts. North Melbourne running a man with McKernan, and Alessio's in the back pocket now on McKernan, down the back line. There's Kransberg's mobility coming into play. Well done, Peter Kransberg.
Unbelievably in these conditions, 10 goals to be kicked in the first quarter. Shows the quality of both sides. Hurd tries to burst his way through to Kransberg, becoming a nuisance on the ball now. Doolan bends over, just across to Pryor. Pryor with a clever kick, didn't try and do too much with it. Archer was good to try and get rid of Wanganeen. Now Wanganeen comes back at him. McCurry goes down, players are down everywhere, and a boundary throw in.
He's hurt himself too.
Just caught one a bit high then, Don.
Free ball. Pretty tough, aren't they, these guys, the way they can get up. A lot of players around that ball. Oh, look at
Simpson tries to belt it out the air. Denham tries to run onto it. Simon's a clever tap. Over to Pryor. Gives it to Mercedes. One-on-one here. King. Oh, too strong for Buick. No, I can't do that. Got to go back behind the mark. Give the player a fair go. He appeared to be off King, but
well, the umpire called time off, hadn't he?
The umpire gave him the benefit of the doubt. King kicks out towards the wing. It's really into a vacant area. Kerry's first there. Harvey comes to him. Kerry brilliantly to get on his left foot and pinch 35 metres. Anderson with a great pickup. Back to Kerry again, and the ball now forward. Chase on here for Berbakoff, and he's happy to see it out.
Big job early on Carey, Berbakoff.
So down to the last seconds of this exciting first quarter. Boundary thrown, and there it is. So quarter time, North Melbourne 6-3-39 in a blistering middle part of the quarter. Essendon 4-2 after 2 early goals, 26. So the margin 13 points to the Northerners.
It's a 13-point margin as we go into the second quarter here at the MCG on a bleak Sunday afternoon, but a big battle and a very high standard game. Roberts for North Melbourne tries to spoon it back. He still tries to spoon it back. Eventually goes to Simons, off to Denham. He is caught, back to Roberts again. And he gets a long kick with a new ball. Down towards football. Carey going back with the fly to the ball. Couldn't take the mark. And it finishes over for one behind, courtesy of Mark Harvey.
He's got that down to a fine art, Wayne Carey. It's not just once, he does that on a number of occasions. Running with the flight of the ball, nearly pulled it in.
Here's Harvey again.
The dry ball, Sandy, you can see the advantage of the dry ball. Roberts got it in the centre, and mighty long leg. Lovely long leg. It was a lovely right long leg.
Alessio. He's going to pass it over to McKernan. And he will take it from 70 metres out. Well, he went for the doctor, and it's booed off the side of the boot. Laidley, a high kick in towards full forward. No mark taken as Schwartz soccers to the boundary line. He may run out of room. He does run out of room.
The boundary throw in, Ian Schwartz. He has 151 games. Young veteran, really, and a terrific player for North. Carey grabs it, kicks, and getting down very low is Berbatov. Not paid the mark. Essendon players pleading with the umpire to no avail. Bounce. 15 metres from the goals. In fact, the throw up. Carey tries to grab it again. Can't. Comes out. Freeborn cleverly back over his head. Gives it to Simpson. Kick smothered. Now falls for the Bombers. Simons dodges out of traffic. Handball misses Danaher, but does set him up to sock it off the ground. Far as Mickey Martin. Mickey just slams it back to the goals. North players everywhere. Carey, another smother, touched off hands.
Oh, no.
Through from behind.
They're making a change. Crocker back on for North Melbourne, going off is Simpson. Crocker going onto the forward line.
Is that a no or a yes?
Don anticipated it might have been a goal, but touched.
One of those in and under kicks, Sandy, that one.
Ah, yes, the in and under. To the half-back line now. And here's Cransberg. He picks it up and he pumps it long towards half-forward. No mark taken. Wallace will soccer off the ground. Came off the bench in the first quarter, goes down towards Buick. King right there with him and takes it over the line. Gavin Wanganeen also there. We'll have ourselves a throw-in in front of the scoreboard here at the MCG. North a 6-5, Essendon 4-2. Dean Wallace wearing 21. There's the Williamstown fisherman Ian Fairley, the only North Melbourne man on the ground that hasn't scored for his side this year. Back towards the centre, McKernan tried to juggle it off. It didn't work. It's going to finish with Pryor. Here's a chance now for Essendon. He gives it across to Denham. Sean Denham, a floating punt to half forward. At the back is Cummings. Sucker off the ground to go over the top. He may do it himself. No, goes over the top to Buick, but it's belted away from him by Freeborn. And one behind is conceded. Glenn Freeborn, the man with the long leg who kicked a goal in the first quarter.
King brings it back in. Kernan can't quite get hold of it. Wallace does. Mercury, clever handball out of Calthorpe, taps it forward. Crocker in underneath, under enormous pressure. All these players. Hurd, clever, out wide. Gives his running player some sort of chance. On his hands and knees was Archer. Gives it to Freeborn, and having to wait underneath it is McKernan. So Corey McKernan to Mickey Martin, slips, has enough poise to get it and just belts the ball forward. Pryor, you would think, is chance here with the race. Carey closes in on him, just worries him, and the champ does well. Gives it to Swash, so the two champions together. Swash goes back inside to Scott and marks on centre wing. Wants to play on. Alessio coming across in front, reading it well's Crocker.
He had that covered.
So Darren Crocker with the famous 27 worn by Keith Gregg and Laurie Dwyer before him goes to the top of the square. Big pack of players. Oh, falls to the ground. Anderson can't quite get his boot to the ball. Under enormous pressure is this Essendon defence. They work it out pretty well to Harvey.
And Mark Harvey steadies. He goes towards half-back. Calthorpe got a hand to it, couldn't complete the mark. Freeborn to Schwarzer, could have been kicking in danger. Danaher tries to get it back to Calthorpe, back to Danaher again. He's on game number 99 to Harvey, on to Denham. Flicked it on to accommodate Mercury. Back once again with Dolan. Now he goes forward to Wanganeen and Essendon's away. Wanganeen looks down towards half forward. The diving mark is by Buick. He can't take it, however, and it opens the door for David King. He floats it back towards Laidley. The junkyard dog goes over the top. Sitting and waiting for it is Anthony Rock. And he's too slow. Caught by Mark Mercury. Essendon now can turn it over. Down towards Wallace, who's inside 50, and he marks. Plays on. King caught one, and he's going to get a free kick.
Sandy, he would have been going for the long kick. In those situations, I mean, they've been going long. We've seen Martin, obviously they're told now to go longer with their kicks. And Wallace then caused the turnover. He could have definitely scored.
I thought the decision back in the centre of the ground was pretty average, though. For the ball to be there in the first place, you get more than half a second to get rid of the footy, I thought. Quick in these conditions. Calthorpe off the ground. Running hard. Fairly taps it back to Martin. Now tries to set up Blakey. Blakey goes off the ground. The ball's a bit slippery at the moment. Shoal. Ball just dries off a bit in the air, and Carey almost again in front. Been terrific. Back towards the centre of the ground. Dorman terrific. Players in underneath it. Calthorpe off the ground. Falls to McKernan. Stands and just thumps the ball forward. Terrific game. Played at frenetic pace. Anderson clever. Now caught. Unloads it. Simons measures his work to the ball. Clever, and gives it off to Doolan.
Ben Doolan steadies, goes to the outer side towards Alessio. He's got Chris Dano in use. Spirals a punt kick to half forward. Couple at the back go to ground, namely Wallace and Hurd. Gee, the North defence is standing up at the moment. In fact, both defences are. It's a classic struggle in this second quarter.
Well, it's more important now to get in front because both teams are using the ball much longer. They're banging it, as that one was, just banging it down the ground, trying to get as much distance as they can.
Rock gave it to Crocker, who goes down to half forward, and a shepherding infringement. Wayne Carey is not at all in agreement with that. Michael Pryor certainly won't mind because he's taking on centre wing. Carey's still having a chat behind the play. Pryor just floats it over the top towards Hurd. Another one to O'Donnell now. Gary O'Donnell onto the right boot. Buick comes steaming out. He gets steamrolled. Back to O'Donnell it goes again. He'll prefer this. It's on his left foot. In towards full forward. Mercury was there. Wanganeen! Caught! Oh, and he's taken and brought to ground. Loses it.
There's an Essendon player down behind play, and he doesn't look too good.
Pryor, in the meantime, has it.
It's like a shoulder. Is that Wallace?
We'll keep an eye on him. No, it's not Wallace. There's Wallace there. Denham is quick to apply a tackle. There may be a chance here for Simons. Into the open goal, and he's kicked it. And it is Buick behind play who is in great trouble.
Looks like a shoulder. An elbow. Left hand anyway. That was great play by Fairley. There he is. He really had to stand and be counted. There's Buick down. Wanganeen, ooh, gee, in the old days, Fairley would have left that elbow raised and kept going.
Darren Buick's had that shoulder problem where it actually pops out. They're back in the centre, 8-point margin now to North. Calthorpe bursts through the centre, goes direct. This is pressure. Wallace!
No, he pushed him out. Good umpiring. Is that Hayden Kennedy?
So Fairley to get the free kick for that push. Comes out wide. Roberts, read beautifully by Martin. Still a little bit of time now to go longer, and very wide indeed.
It was Hayden Kennedy who gave that decision, a courageous decision. He was right there as Wallace pushed out his North Melbourne opponent.
So kicked back in now by Essendon. Scott Cummings. And the ball out of bounds. Not a packed house, but gee, it's a very noisy stadium. They really are getting into this game as they see the players working hard. In front, Hurd, punch from behind from Blakey, and Rock sees it over. Anthony Rock, 124 games, being followed around by Sean Denham. And you can see some work going in off the ball there. Players running, trying to run with other players. Hurd comes from behind and snaps it out the air. And Schwash caught and another bounce right on the 50-metre line. Essendon into attack.
It's 11.5 minutes, Malcolm, remaining in this first half.
Cummings coming off, Cockatoo Collins on for Essendon.
So that ball pushed back towards centre wing and again over.
And Paul Barnard's gone into the forward pocket. He replaced Darren Buick for Essendon.
Shea Cockatoo Collins getting his chance off the bench.
It's going to be interesting because Martin's got to pick up Cockatoo Collins, and whether Cockatoo Collins is too quick for Martin, we'll just wait and see.
Roberts has a free kick for a ruck infringement from the throw-in. He kicks towards half forward, wanting McKernan, but it's a Lessio who fists it away. Socket off the ground, back down towards the 50. Anderson comes charging out for North Melbourne. He's taken the ground, tunnel balled it through the back door, and then heads for the boundary. Kicked 2 goals, Stuart Anderson, in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's on behind play, this matchup, right on the edge of the square. Rock's involved, Calthorpe. Rock won't go backwards.
Well, play goes on in the meantime. Roberts takes the mark on centre wing, and he charges forward. He puts North Melbourne inside 50 once again. A big pack of players. Who is at the back? Simons is there. Pryor is there also, is almost pushed in the back. Simons eventually concedes a behind.
Big fly from Berbatov.
Margin out to 9 points. Pryor goes long down the middle. Alessio the target, Scott in front, takes the chest mark.
Ball dropping once again.
And has a player out wide, and that's Scholl. So the zone defence there of North Melbourne working as the ball was turned over with a kick to Scott.
It'll be a 3-5-4 defence, Malcolm.
Yes, there are a number, any variation, Don, from probably 9 to 13 or 14, depending on whether you use the wingers and even half-back flankers sometimes. You with us, Don? Scholl kicks.
Way ahead of him.
And just drifts off and hits the post. So bad luck there for Scholl and North. And another point result. So the margin sneaks out to 10 points. Buick looks like might be running around the boundary to go and get some treatment on that shoulder, as O'Donnell accepts the kick in.
Yes, he's going from the back pocket and gets a long kick too, but it's very wide, and it spins over the line for a throw-in. And no, that's not Brute Bernard. That is Paul Barnard. North's last goal, late in the first quarter. They've been sitting on 6 since that time. They've added just 4 behinds this quarter. Carey, Hurd gets a fist to it, goes through the arms of Denham. He butters up again for a second attempt, but gives it straight towards Crocker. Crocker comes to half forward. The big guns are there. It's a little too far. It sails over the top. Anderson tried to soccer off the ground. He was unsuccessful. Now it's Simon's turn to the boundary line, and Berbatov sees it sail over. There's Michael Simons.
He's already kicked a goal. When you see him up on the forward line.
Built like a piece of elastic. Very versatile. Stevens, bottom of the pack. Oh, he's not making a huge effort to get rid of it. So another throw in, and James Hurd dropping back there with Wayne Carey. And look at this! That's a goal! So North break the drought. And it looks as though it was Stevens who did it. They're 7th. They're 7-7. Essendon are 5-3.
Just prior to that, I was just thinking Stevens is having a quiet day. He's been picked up by Calthorpe. Stevens used to be a real good, well, he was a stopper, but then he could play off players as well as stopping. Now he's being paid the compliment of having a man go with him, and that is Calthorpe.
And McKernan jumps high. It's down towards Stevens. Tries to soccer it off the ground. Crocker does well off, picks it up, gives it to Rock. Really doesn't throw it out. Barnard, vicious attack. Pryor, pretty cool. Swings the ball around, and the ball heads towards the boundary line. Wallace on hands and knees. Able to buy some time, get up, kick the ball forward, go through the pack of players. Alessio comes at it. King does well off the line, and soccer off the ground is missed and out on the full.
There's Archer there standing his ground. They've made another change. Dwyer coming on for North Melbourne. And there's Archer standing his ground well.
The kick comes, member side. Scott, almost. Crocker. To kick it back towards the boundary line. Dwyer on the ground for North. It's clean. Oh, met solidly. Welcome to the game. Berbikoff gives it up. Now it ends up back with Berbikoff. Needs some support. Goes back inside. Now this is a big get for Essendon. There's enough of them there to work this out. Terrific hassling by Scholl. And Simons was terrific. Gets caught. Now they give it up a bit. Anderson on to O'Donnell. Gives it to Hurd. Hurd just kicks it on the outside of the boot to Harvey. And Harvey now swings in towards centre half forward. Pack of North Melbourne players. But in front, brilliantly in front is McCurry.
Yes, excellent play. The advantage of being in front.
Gee, 3 North Melbourne players there with him, and he somehow or other found the gap in between them. Magnificent mark. Mark McCurry will kick from just outside 50. He just won't quite get there. North hit it back towards the goals, and now they have got it across the line through Crocker. Interesting byplay at the other end of the ground then. Hurd went on to Kerry, Don, and immediately Dennis Pagan moved Kerry back into the goal square. So to try and take Hurd out of it, and now they're Sid swap back again with Berbikoff going on to Kerry.
Kick back into play, and the mark taken by Robert Scott. Swings it up over the centre. Alessio with a big fist is there. Carey also. Schwass off the ground down towards Roberts. Caught, but he shrugs the tackle. He also loses the footy. Gets it back again. Tries to give it towards Wayne Schwass. Soccers it away. That's neatly done. North now a chance because Roberts has dropped down onto the 50. He can play on from 40 metres. He shoots towards goal and has kicked it.
That was an excellent kick from Roberts. An excellent kick. It's a good build-up by North Melbourne. Just going backwards was Schwash and then Scholl over at the top. But this is an excellent kick on the run. Consider the conditions.
Yes, we've considered them, Don, and it was an excellent kick.
Barnard's now obviously picking up Roberts.
So North with 2 quick goals. Essendon need to reply. Calthorpe has the
now
ball
that's
kicked out of his...
surely kicking in danger.
Alessio tries to barge through. Gives it off to Doolan. Now to McCurry. Great little handball through to Denham. Oh, sets up Doolan. This could be it. Kicks in a hurry and really has to unload it. But Wanganeen launches himself at the ball towards the goal line and takes a brilliant chest mark.
Well set up by Denham.
Comes back inside to Calthorpe.
No, it's got to go back because the umpire had blown time on. He was lining Wanganeen up.
And here's this time wasting one. One of these players will get the ball taken off them with that towel. They've happened in a game early in the year. And
Isn't that legitimate, though? They're going to go for goal?
No, not at all. It's still time waste. Consider time wasting. It's in the rules. Provided they do it sensibly.
What, time waste sensibly? Or
wipe the ball quickly, Doc.
Oh, I see.
Wanganeen spins out. Oh, and he's kicked a brilliant goal. Kevin Wanganeen gets his first, and Essendon 6, and the margin now of 15 points.
Well, I think there's a little bit of grey matter as far as wasting time is concerned, and this is good play here by Denham, the former Geelong Rover. Watch him here, quick. Over he goes. He was a great little player for Geelong, from Melton. Should still be playing down there, but...
15 points the margin. Essendon go forward towards Doolan. He has it locked up. Over him is a Freeborn. And Ben Doolan, mud spattered as he picks himself up. It's been a great first half considering these conditions. The standard has been incredibly high. Down towards Carey, pushed away from the ball. Wanganeen had it for a moment, so too did Pryor. O'Donnell will be first to this for the Bombers. Just tries to gain probably 15-20 metres. He knew where he was heading with that kick. So a throw in. Left half forward for North. They lead by 15 points. Alessio wins it from the back. Schwass is there, but he overruns the slippery ball. Help from Scholl, and he needs it. Wanganeen. Great control. But in the meantime, a whistle. And it's going to come back. There's a free given away off the ball. And who'll take it? Glenn Archer? Yes, Archer will take it. Between centre and half forward.
Good mark.
Floats over the top, and Barnard.
It's purely accidental.
Yeah.
Purely accidental.
There's a little bit of remonstrating, but
it was a great mark, though, just the same by Barnard.
There's
a lot of remonstrating going on behind play.
Well, how many do you need from Melee, boys? Better have a quick count. No, he's okay. He is up.
He's all right.
Yep. In the meantime, Schwass is off, and Scott Welsh, youngster from West Adelaide, who we wish all the best playing in his first game.
Bruce Reid down there, the doctor actually wants Barnard to come off the ground, so he mustn't be too good. It's Bruce in the tracksuit. Courageous rover. He played 1 or 2 games at Hawthorn in my early days and then went to Preston.
Well, here it is again.
Here it is. Barnard's now going to take the kick. The umpire considered he was all right.
Well, it seems okay too. He's picked himself up. Gives it away to Pryor. Pryor floats it to the outer side, and Scholl sees it over with Ben Doolan in his wake. 8-7, plays 6-4.
Barnard going down to the forward line. Cransberg going back up to pick up Crocker. Maybe giving Barnard a little time to recover.
At the back is Wanganeen and Pryor. It's the latter who takes it now, swings it round his body. Clean bowls everyone, except Fairley. He's ridden into the ground illegally. Martin. But the advantage is not going to be paid. It'll go back to Ian Fairley. Thinks about going wide and short to Carey, but then goes back and pokes it high. Oh, Simon's got up high and has given away a free kick. So North a chance to go forward again through Scholl. Still a long way from home, but that's a lovely kick in these conditions. Oh, almost the mark taken. Socket off the ground, but out of bounds in the right forward pocket. Another throw in. There's Darren Crocker.
Sandy, have you mentioned the armbands the Essendon players are wearing?
Yes.
In respect of
Doug Bigelow, former Essendon player, of course, and commentator. And extremely well respected and fondly remembered. Roberts had front spot. This is Crocker. He's caught. And Barnard making sure he was going nowhere rapidly. Taken over the boundary line once again.
It was payback time as far as Barnard was concerned. And Roberts, you can see there, wanting the forward line cleared out. And here's Barnard. There it is. But you missed the man you were supposed to get, Paul. He was number 8.
Throw in. Over the top, Crocker kicks on his left foot. Great goal from Darren Crocker. First goal, and the Kangaroos get their 9.
Well, they wanted an open forward line, or at least Roberts did. And there he is, just judging a little bit better on the run through. Crocker, as Malcolm's already mentioned, number worn on the wing with distinction for a number of years by Keith Grigg.
Back in the centre, Alessio, Kernan. Socket off the ground by Blakey. Here's the youngster Welsh on Danaher. This is why the free kick. So that's his first legitimate stat. It's a negative against him. Danaher comes out wide. McKernan, the two big fellas, beautifully read by Doolan. This is direct play from Essendon. Fairley drops back, can't get hold of it. King wants to go off the ground and has gone off the ground very long indeed.
Could have made a better effort of that.
Yes, I think you just need to cover the ball towards the boundary line initially. When you're not under pressure, perhaps you can do that and measure it. Cockatoo Collins wiping the ball. Oh, I better wipe it again. So shoot Cockatoo Collins. Kick from just outside 50. Oh, he wants to jump around. He does.
How far is he running? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Missed the goal anyhow, but ran too far. There's an old axiom, Don, if you stand the rule, you don't jump in. If you stand the mark, you don't jump in the air. That sort of went out about 1943, I think, that sort of play.
Axiom, I thought they were a great South Australian group, Axiom. Glenn Sharrock.
Yes. And David King from Port Melbourne to another Port Melbourne player in Ian Fairley or Williamstown. Somewhere over that side to Nick Martin. So North worked their way out of trouble here. Gives it off to Laidley. Pushed after he kicked it, and then Denham sees it over. So after all that, I mean, it really is difficult when players jump in the air on the mark. I mean, most good players can run around them.
Under 2.5 minutes remaining in this first half. Alessio, McKernan. Alessio with the right hand, Dorlan working hard, Denham over the top. And David Calthorpe at the bottom of the pack. Picks himself up. An excellent contest unfolding here. Simons overruns it. Denham lost it. Unable to clear it out. Look at James Hurd in there. And Anthony Dwyer. A 21-point margin. Just a couple of minutes remaining in this first half. Thrown out by Anderson. Here's a chance now for Mercedes. Oh, Scott. Soccer tactics. It's going to be okay as it's pushed down towards right half forward and over the line once more. Dwyer picks himself up. Started on the bench like Scott Welsh. Youngster from West Adelaide. Here's Ian Fairley.
Solid.
Charging forward. In towards centre half forward. Berbatov at the back is claimed by Anderson. Socket off the ground by Calthorpe. Ricochets towards the boundary line. And Anthony Rock is eventually with the ball slung over it.
A lot of match-ups still here. You can see the congestion in front of the two ruckmen on the boundary line. Who's going with who?
Lights have been on since the game started. Scholl caught. Gives it away. It's high in towards Roberts and co. Anderson around his body. This is going to be close. Touched on the line.
Good contest. Pryor and Crocker. Big jump again by Berbatov. Just have to watch that, and maybe he should be punching the ball when he's going up from behind.
Now in the last minute, second quarter. Pryor pretty well at the back. Goes wide. Pinpoint kick.
Sylvie's one fellow we haven't seen today. How else he games?
No, being picked up by Robert Scott. So boundary throw in. Scholl gets it, goes down to Wanganeen, kicks the ball back towards centre half forward. Oh, falls. This is a chance here. Ends up with Mercury. Just needs a good kick here to set up Cockatoo Collins, and it is. Now he can play off.
Don't run too far.
40 metres out, kicks the ball low and has kicked a very good goal.
You can see there the sigh of relief. He was willing that through. It must have taken him ages for him to get there as far as he was concerned. He went down on knees, willing that ball through, and it still found its mark. Good goal.
Yeah, it's an important piece of play too, with just in the last 20-odd seconds of the game.
He's hit the ground running. There, gone. Away he goes. Smart kick, and then down on the knees, just willing that ball through.
62 plays 46. Very timely goal for the Bombers to close the gap.
Actually, Alessio's done well since he's gone in the ruck. I know that McKernan's not getting his hand on the ball, but McKernan's jumping early, not really interested in the ball.
Alessio won it. Here's Chris Danaher. Danger time for North. He runs his full distance, wobbles it in towards full forward, but King fists it away, and it is half-time here at the MCG in a very, very good contest. North Melbourne leads 9-8, 62. Essendon 7-4, 46. In the second half here at the MCG, it's North Melbourne with their noses in front, 9-8 to 7-4. A cloudy, wet old wintry day, but we've seen some exciting football. It comes to Simons. He can float it to the outer side towards Pryor. Lost it, regains it, gives the hand pass to Harvey, but the whistle has sounded. There's been a whistle.
Better attack on the ball by McKernan for that first bounce down to the start of the second half here at the MCG. Really got up, closed the fist and thumped it and cleared the pack. Earlier he was jumping early, the ball coming to the feet. Very hard to get the ball out.
Michael Pryor hasn't missed a game this season. To Alessio. Bombers very keen.
These two, Sandy.
For a good start in this second half. Oh, look at Hurd! Couldn't take it. Back towards Denham. He's got a chance from 51 metres. Fairley and King are both there in defence for North, and it is the latter who tidies up. Goes to the half-back line. Slipping was Schwass. Danaher applies the tackle. Robert Scott gives the hand pass away to Fairley. Now North Melbourne out of trouble. Back towards centre wing. Stevens and Calthorpe. Stevens was in front. He's away as he gives it to Freeborn. Glenn Freeborn kicked an exciting goal in the first quarter. Malcolm loved it to half forward and skidding away over the cricket pitch area for another throw-in.
Just turning the clock back just a few years, just seeing Denham and Scott out there. Now, a couple of years ago when they started, they were a potent duo at Geelong as a roving combination. No, they really were. And I think both of them made the state squad, and how luck or fortune changes. One's now for North Melbourne, the other for Essendon. But they were an exciting duo when they first started at Geelong.
Yes, when they ran about 15th, I think they did, Geelong at the time. But here we go, back in to Freeborn. Gives it back to O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer kicks it very high, and a terrific mark by McKernan. So Corey McKernan.
Stuck that one in nicely.
I didn't realise there were 15 teams in the comp when they were both down there.
No, they were only youngsters together.
Exactly,
That's
and
right.
they were a very good combination.
Yes, they're very talented young players, Don. Certain.
I think it was even before your time.
Was
so
indeed.
I'm not even having a go.
No,
I'm
I knew
making
that.
a statement. One from Barwon or Torquay, the other from Melton.
And here's Corey McKernan kicking from 35 metres. Just appeared to kicked it. Yes, he has. Good start to the Northerners. So Corey gets his first, and as Don Scott mentioned, that big thump out the middle was a terrific jump and rewarded them with an excellent mark and goal.
Wearing Paul Spargo's old number. And here it is, the build-up once again, Anthony Dwyer. It's a great battle between Alessio and McKernan. Alessio took a mark over McKernan earlier. Now it was McKernan's time.
Back in the middle, Alessio contesting once again. Socket out the back door towards Roberts, who gets a hurried kick, gathers probably 10 metres or so, taken by McKernan. Look at this tumbled punt. Down the full forward he goes. At the front was Carey. With him is Harvey. Kicked off the ground, going nowhere, and they pounce upon it. At the bottom of that is Berbakoff, with his head almost buried in mud.
You see there, get the ball and get it down as far as you can in these conditions.
So throw up, Hurd, 2 fisted away. And players happy to see that bounce. Doolan underneath. They're 35 metres away from the North Melbourne goal. The margin 22 points. And we're going just 2 or 3 minutes or so in the third quarter. Thrown up by Greg Scroop. Belted forward to Wanganeen. And kicks to Denham on the 50-metre line. Great kick to Danaher. And controls it in front of Swash. And Chris Danaher, 100th game, all going well next week. Join an illustrious group, including his brothers. Cockatoo Collins, a terrific little gift to Calthorpe. Then sort of run out of room. The ball spinning and going away. Lately first back and kicks it off the ground. So a rush point there for the Bombers. As Lately did have real trouble turning.
Yes, it'll be a fair dynasty, won't it, with the Danahers passing 100, except for
It's
Neil.
an amazing record.
Is the kick by Mickey Martin up towards Scholl on centre wing. Calthorpe pushes towards the line, and it spins and spins, and then it's flicked over by Mark McCurry.
And arguably the best of them, Neil, did not make it, did he, because of injury?
Cut short, tragically.
Still, it's a terrific effort by the brothers.
And from that throw-in, free kick, it's going to go the way of North Melbourne, so it's coming back to James Hird. So it's coming back. And Hird with his hands on his hips. Calthorpe putting on a new pair of pants. He goes short. That's okay. Chris Danaher. In towards half forward. And it almost stuck for Steve Alessio around his body. He bends it back. It's spinning back and through for one behind.
But he doesn't play in the ruck all the time, Alessio.
Bomber bench. Runner Brian Wood having a spell before he heads out again. 10-9, plays 7-5. David King again brings it in towards the half back line. Oh, good fly by Scholl. Over the top of Archer, his teammate, and Scholl goes to half forward. Now Anderson's waiting down in front. Roberts was also there. Harvey for Essendon off to Alessio. Caught as he gets it away to Barnard. Barnard has a look down towards half forward. Now who was hanging on to who? Mark Mercury is going to get the free kick. So it was the North defender infringing.
Hayden Kennedy, again the umpire, is not afraid to pay those decisions.
Mercury from 55 wants a talk. Goes for home, but it's slews off the side of the boot. North will get out of this with ease.
Dwyer breaks away, crossed the defensive 50 line, and a terrific kick there to Anthony Stevens. So the hard-working midfielder kicks up Carey direction. Oh, he's got 3 to beat. Just tries to bring it to ground. Wingeneen caught, ducks his head, and will be paid the free kick. Caught play on. Alessio goes back to centre half forward. Masidi can't get hold of it. Hird drops the footy.
Yes, he did. He did at Melbourne. It's going Hird's way.
There was a free kick, must have happened off the ball.
Yes.
Masidi perhaps might have paid the chest mark, which I thought he dropped too. Oh, it's not a great kick, but lucks a fortune. Finds Danaher. So that's 3 kicks Danaher's got at the start of this quarter, playing on Schwash, just leading up, being in front. As Don's mentioned a few times, the ball dropping short.
Solid player. It's Chris Danaher, number 7. I used to wear that as a little boy. Bill Hutchison, the late Bill Hutchison, a great rover for Essendon.
Danaher, he goes the talk too, it wobbles. Now starting to drift full, and hang on, it has. And they have kicked their 8th. In fact, it's their 7th point. So number 7 kicks their 7th, and Essendon are 7-7.
It's good to see the players using the torpedo.
Would have been lovely that for the Bombers. They wanted that one, but this is Dwyer on the outer side taking the kick in. Going towards centre wing. Strong interception by Steve Alessio. Good mark on the chest. Passes over to Mark Harvey. And the veteran kicks towards Danaher. Floats across the pack. He's preparing for his 100th, I think. In towards Cummings. That's better.
Yes.
Schwass off and rock on for North Melbourne as we speak.
And there is Danaher reaching for the sky. The rain has stopped here. No, it hasn't stopped. I just thought it was stopped here. Conditions a little better, but no, there's still light drizzle here at the MCG. Lights are on, and Cummings has already kicked 2. Only 1, I'm sorry. I apologise.
Now he's got 2. And again, they close the gap 8-7 to 10-8.
Clean piece of play into the forward line, the way that Danaher rose, and then quickly played on with a drop punt.
let's see if they can get the next one, Essendon. Alessio caught as he tries to smack it out of the middle. And his teammate, I think that's Mark Mercury at the bottom.
Again, McKernan trying to jump early. It's a great battle between
David
he and Alessio.
Calthorpe picks himself up. Right smile. They'll do it all again. Simon's in there as well for Essendon. And Hurd and Barnard. Socket off the ground. Down towards Shea Cockatoo Collins. It comes wide of him. Taken away by King. Back towards centre wing. Crocker gets another one round his body. He's gained probably 15 metres or so. And it is out of bounds. So a throw in on centre wing. 13 points the margin. North Melbourne leads. McKernan front spot, swatted over the back. King first to it. Went without it. Dwyer runs into his own man. Calthorpe applies the tackle. Away is Mercury, and there's a North Melbourne free kick. To be taken by Stevens. Penetrating kick into half forward. No mark taken. Or Barnard almost applied a tackle that was too high. Anderson's the last man up. He's kicked 2 goals, both in the first quarter, and we've got a ball up.
Kernan punches it with his left hand. Pack of players. Barnard goes off the ground a couple of times. Denham, good little shuffle out to Danaher, the man of the moment really, to Roberts. Caught high as he kicked, and will take the free kick. And Mark Roberts. Kick it from about, he's kick it probably right on 50. Kicked a great running goal in the second quarter. And kicked 13 for the year, so...
It's a thumping kick, this man. He's one of the better kicks of the AFL as far as distance goes.
Russo back in the goal square by himself, really, as a tall. Kicks and just for the extra distance, just pushes it a bit wide. So North push that margin out now to 14 points.
He might have just got a little bit too close to the man on the mark.
And Pryor comes in to Simons.
Michael Simons, 71st game. Goes back to Mark Harvey in his 187th game. Been a grand player for the Bombers. Wonderful career. Here's Danaher again. Got a purple patch going at the moment. Wants to put it out in front of James Hurd, and he can run on. No, he'll go back and take the kick. Blakey, was on the mark, but Hurd's put Denham under real pressure. Picked up by Fairley, floats it back into the middle. Now a chance for Scholl as he swings round onto the right boot. Goes with a high kick in towards the forward line. Fisted down towards their 50 and eventually over. A throw-in to take place. But a dangerous moment or so for Essendon. Down by 14 points. Simons tries to flick it away from the throw-in and through it, said the umpire. Umpire Brett Allen, who debuted back in '92, made that decision. Into half forward, there he is, Wayne Carey.
Well, this is the 5th time he's done that today by just getting in front, the ball dropping. It's about the 4th chest mark he's taken.
Kicked 1 goal in the first quarter, coming into this game with 36-23 to his name. Played every game for the year to amass that score. And a chance to give North just that little bit of extra breathing space. He doesn't miss.
Crocker on and off, and Simpson on as Carey goes through, kicks his second, and really it was a classical effort in kicking that goal. He lined it up, very deliberate, head over the ball, and he ran in. Here it is, the mark. As he ran in, head over the ball, followed through, kept the head down as he made contact. Well done. Beautiful stuff.
North lead by 20 points. Just over halfway through this third quarter. Denham with the kick forward. Fairley with Wallace. Great pick up by Mercury. Can't handle it is Calthorpe. Now it ends up back with Calthorpe. Doolan has to kick quickly as he feels the pressure. Fairley bursts through and just bulldozes the ball forward to McKernan. Can't get a hold of it. Player slipping, very slippery conditions here. Alessio having a very good quarter as well. Kicks, Cockatoo Collins. So the two big men, Alessio and McKernan, starting to have an influence.
I was thinking the same, Malcolm. Great minds must think alike, because it's hard to separate, isn't it? You just can't say, well, one's better and one's better, because they're both very good players, Alessio and McKernan. It's a terrific battle and both deserving votes and acclamation.
So Cockatoo Collins with an exciting goal in the second quarter. Kicks from 30. Just pulled that a bit. Just appeared to slip a bit as he kicked that. Not far from where Michael Long tragically did his knee in that reenactment game against Geelong. Just a point to the Bombers.
David King to bring it back. Some 9 minutes remaining in this all-important third quarter. Simon's up high, belts it down.
It's a terrific punch.
Denham couldn't take it. It surged towards the scoring zone once more. It's off target. It's out of bounds. And David King. Oh, talk about cutting a fine line. Bounces it just inside.
Yeah, it's almost not the percentage player to do that quickly in that circumstance. Slippery ball.
From the throw-in, Wallace is there. Body over the ball. Fairley there also. Not to be confused with Wallace Fairweather. There is Fairley. Scott. Fairley. And eventually towards centre wing. Or Simon's dropped it. He's going to be claimed from behind by Archer. Picked up by Stevens. North go up over the centre. Hurd. Clever slap forward, but no one there to accommodate him. Taken by Freeborn. Slung as he takes his kicks, pushed down in towards the pocket. Berbikoff gives chase. He overruns it, but eventually slides over with Danilchenko over the line. A throw in the right forward pocket. Simpson cuts across. Simons is there as well to soccer off the ground. Out in front of Doolan on his hammer, Dwyer. And another throw in. Carey and Hurd together once again. Danilchenko shrugs at one tackle. Ball spills free towards Simpson. He wobbles it towards Carey and Hurd. Hurd was in front, got taken out of it. Picked up by Simons. Comes sideways. This may be okay for Essendon. Socket off the ground and over for a throw-in by Michael Pryor.
Boundary throw-in. At 45 metres around from the north goal. McKernan, Alessio. McKernan tries to tap it to himself, then gets after it. Can't quite get it. Freeborn has a fresh air shot and eventually another bounce. I just wonder with Sheedy, or Dennis Pagan will actually move Carey back into full forward now like he did in that second quarter when Hurd went onto him for a while. Wanganeen and finds touch.
I just can't see Essendon making up this break, because that ball getting heavier unless they take the initiative early in the next quarter, the final quarter. They're going to struggle. These conditions not conducive to good football.
Tap forward by Archer. Crocker off the ground, tries to. Pryor puts his head over the footy. Danilchenko comes in to put pressure on, and another bounce.
Yes, the biggest margin in the game has been 22 points by North late in the second quarter and early in the third. And currently it's 19.
Yes, it looks like one of those 2 or 3 goals games, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You just get that feeling. Pryor works the ball again to the boundary line, so just a bit of unproductive stuff here. Some bounces and boundary throw-ins as Kevin Sheedy looks on. Tap by McKernan to Crocker, sets him away, kick forward. Oh, fantastic mark coming across by Berbatov and holds up that attack.
Gives it away to Ben Doolan. Doolan goes towards half-back. He wanted O'Donnell. At the back is Mercury. O'Donnell may tidy up here and soccer off the ground. And we come back to Mercury, who was held by Dean Laidley. Going to have to go back and kick over the mark. Change is being made. Danelechenko off, and back on is young Scott Welsh.
Did well early, Danelechenko, in the first quarter.
Making his debut, the young boy from West Adelaide, just 17 years of age. Gee, Doug Thomas has seen a few come and go, Malcolm, hasn't he, over there at Richmond? Simons to the outer side. Chris Danaher's having a fine quarter. Danaher kicks in towards half forward. Nipping in is Stevens. Oh, gets the hand pass away on all fours and does it nicely. It's tumbled towards Corey McKernan. Gets an awful bounce. And again it'll be Simons and Wanganeen who'll tidy up. Gavin Wanganeen, first one way, then the next to Mercury. Smack in the middle of the ground. Mark Mercury goes towards half forward. Spilled by Fairley. Wallace is there also. Cockatoo Collins. Mercedes centering kicks okay. And the mark taken by Sean Denham. Glenn Archer is the man on the mark as Sean Denham in his 131st game. Chance to keep Essendon in touch, but really they want a couple of quick ones and to be maybe only a kick away going into the final quarter. The heavy track will certainly take it out of the legs.
Great.
And that left hook kick is very wide.
Distance-wise.
You mean a great kick for length, Don, of course.
Distance. Yeah, distance-wise.
So would you call it great if it missed by about 8 metres?
Now we're getting pedantic.
This wasn't a good leg, really. Malcolm, was it?
No, it wasn't a lovely leg at all.
Shorter than the other.
Scott in over the top of Simons, and Simpson's there to lend a hand. Yes, I think it's probably a good kick when you miss. Could be a great kick if you get it. McKernan, Alessio. Dwyer under enormous pressure from all players. Some hard work going on here. It's a bit of a soft sand there at the G. Calthorpe.
Oh, no.
Free kick going back to North. He bolted through the pack, got through some traffic. So another ball up. And once again, just in that loose sand there. The oval's not too bad, Don. We're coming into the bad patch.
No, actually, I was thinking that earlier, Malcolm. It is in good condition considering the rain we've had here today.
Yes, is that two things we've been thinking about at the same time?
I know,
Don?
something's going wrong. I must be sick. I'm coming down with something.
The Roos by 18 points. Wallace thumps it towards goal. Fairley puts his body in line. Kicks the ball out wide. Pryor first there. Just having trouble. The ball has been on the ground fall. Very slippery. Dwyer tries to control it. Does it pretty well in the end to Freeborn. Terrific work on the boundary line by the North team. Dwyer goes towards Kerry and that big body gets in front again. Pushes off Hurd. The crowd roar because of the push. Goes to centre half forward. Simpson cons across, gets one hand to it. Oh, there was a pack of North Melbourne players there. If only they can get the ball out. Rock somehow or other gets through. Roberts wants to cap, and a terrific mark by Berbatov standing his ground.
Crucial time now for Essendon. He goes short towards Barnard. And he marks. We've got under 3 minutes remaining.
Heavy knock in the third quarter, Paul Barnard, but he's up, he's okay.
Bulldog Barnard from the back pocket. Transfers play towards centre wing. Mark Harvey is
He was gone.
Read it better than anyone. And Harvey goes to half forward. Beautifully done by Calthorpe. Oh, first one way, then the other. And saw Cockatoo Collins at the corner of his eye. Careful, Che. The Bombers throwing down the challenge now. With only minutes remaining, pass is okay. And Dean Wallace will have a shot from directly in front, some 40 metres out. This to make it just 2 straight kicks the difference.
Look at Chris Danaher offering a lead out further. No, he's not going to do it.
A real stop-start career for Dean Wallace. He turns 27 in August. As I said earlier, he's played just 11 games in 3.5 seasons of football. This is first for 96. And can he get his first goal? Pushes to the left.
Yes, they've actually kicked 1 goal 6 this quarter, Essendon, to North Melbourne's 2 goals 1. So margin 17 points. Of course, it was 16 points at half time. So they've had the ball down their end. A few set shots too, just gone astray. Blakey just belts the ball forward. Pryor nearly takes a clever mark, not paid. Martin kicks and kicks to space. Read beautifully by Simons. Really was first off. Archer just got caught asleep, and unfortunately the kick's gone out on the full. So Freeborn now kick, and that's not a good kick either, and goes to O'Donnell. So the skipper from Essendon. Players lead wide. That's the way he comes. Barnard from over the top punches and sits on Mercury, his teammate, and punches it out of bounds. So boundary throw in right on the centre wing. 17 points the margin. Bombers really need to press home a goal here. Just under a minute to go this third quarter. It's been a very tight quarter. Only 3 goals scored. When you consider we had 10 in that first quarter. Just slow down a bit the scoring, Don.
Yes, Malcolm, just that heavy ball once again. They just can't get a run on. A lot of players around the ball too.
Ends up with Harvey. Screws it back around. Crocker goes back courageously. Didn't know what was coming really, and took a very good mark.
No one on the mark, so away he goes. Long and low to half forward, but straight down the throat of Michael Simon.
Essendon haven't got a forward of the centre square. Front end of the square, everybody else
Wanganeen. They're streaming down there now. Cummings and Martin go back. Mickey Martin first to recover. Cummings right on his hammer. Martin's got to beat a couple now. Cockatoo Collins is there. But the siren has sounded. They've been beaten by the clock in this third quarter as they try desperately to close the gap. So at 3/4 time, North Melbourne still holds sway. They are 11 goals 9, 75. Essendon 8-10, 58. Like a night game here at the MCG. It's so dark, the lights are on, and we've got a contest going into the final quarter here between North Melbourne and Essendon. Schwass is at the bottom. There's been a whistle. Essendon will be very, very desperate to get the first score just to stay in touch. David Calthorpe has the free kick in the middle.
New ball too.
So he goes for distance, naturally enough, down towards the forward line. Wallace slaps it forward. Belted wide, a chance now for Dwyer to run for North Melbourne. From the back pocket, he looks down towards the half-back flank. Simpson and Freeborn both there, waiting down is Doolan. Ben Doolan goes back into attack for Essendon. In towards half-forward, good mark taken by King.
Gee, chanced himself there, coming over the back.
David King. towards Simpson. Not paid. Picked up by Dwyer, a floating kick up towards his captain. Carey couldn't take it. Anderson is there to give it back towards Carey. He's got to beat a couple. It's okay. He has a look and he sizes up the pass to Roberts. It's a beauty.
That's excellent. And he's happy with himself, Wayne Carey. Now Roberts can, as I mentioned in the third quarter, really hook the ball. And he'll make the distance. There's not a worry in the world about the distance, but the accuracy is going to be the problem.
And if he is straight, he'll certainly hurt Essendon.
And if he is straight, Sandy, from here, it'll be a great kick.
Directly in front from 47 metres. Oh, it is a great kick.
That's his second goal, but it was well set up by this man here, 18. And he's happy with himself when he gets rid of the ball. Look, he looks for options, nothing coming. And out of screen as he got it to Roberts, he was happy with himself. Both fists in the air, clenching the effort.
With the margin 23 points now to North Melbourne after a fantastic kick. Was a great kick indeed. Full play on. King having trouble finding the football. Simpson, falls to Cockatoo Collins. Buys a bit of time and space. Now chips the ball long. Buick sits underneath it. Can't grab hold of it. Been off the ground with a shoulder injury. Now gets around, spins around. Isn't the goal the Bombers need? Cummings almost. Three grows at it and can't get it. Great defence by North. Great tackle also by Cummings. And fairly dispossessed in the tackle, and the ball falls over the line. For the Bombers, the first two out the middle, but North have got the goal on the board. Falls to Rock. He kicks and kicks wide. Berbikoff in front of Crocker. Short. Player loose is Pryor. So Essendon now work the ball back close to their 50-metre line. Goes for a big bomb, but just hooks it, as so often happens. Bird marks it, but it is over the line and out of bounds on the fall. Mickey Martin to take the kick.
23 points the margin, favouring North. Martin goes to the half-back flank. Out the back towards Michael Pryor. Taken on by Simpson. North just do it in numbers as they surge it down towards Anderson, who kicked a couple of early goals. And with him O'Donnell, it's over the line. Throw in on centre wing. There's Steve Alessio wearing 27, Gavin Wanganeen in 4. Alessio down towards Calthorpe, off to Wanganeen. Has a look towards left half forward and finds Mark Mercury. Kicked a couple of telling goals against Fremantle last week. Centering kick this time towards Che Cockatoo Collins. Had to beat a couple. Wallace lost it towards Dwyer and then King. King's kick is wide to the outer side, and Anthony Stevens slides away from Mercury. They're holding firm the Roos at the moment, but there's still a long way to go. Wayne Schwass picks himself up. Great worker for the Roos. They'll throw in again on the outer side. No one getting that out. Schwass, Rock, Berbikoff, and Brett Allen. Decides he'll ball it up. Alessio can't escape. Dwyer's at the bottom of the pack with Bendall.
This is helping North Melbourne, Sandy. There's 15 odd minutes to go, 15, 16 minutes to go, but all these packs are helping North Melbourne.
Alessio has a couple of bites at the cherry towards Calthorpe, taken by Fairley. It's a high kick towards right half forward, towards Anderson and O'Donnell. Wanganeen does the scouting, pushed as he took his kick over the line.
Yes, Kevin Wanganeen. Being spoke to there by Brian Wood, the runner for Essendon. And a boundary throw in between wing and half forward in front of the great southern stand. Schwash wants help, gets it from Rock, and kicks it back to Wanganeen. Wanganeen quickly off balance he was when he kicked it. Carey just couldn't get hold of it. Dangerous stuff. Freeborn off the ground, back to Carey. Slung as he kicked it. Roberts comes to meet it. Simons will come off the ground, hits it pretty well, and the ball skids towards the boundary line. I don't think it'll make it out. Harvey first there. He plays soccer. Collins, Cockatoo Collins that is, goes to ground. Scott pinches it from underneath his legs. Now wants support back in the middle, McKernan. And there is a free kick off the footy here, and it'll come back to Dwyer by the look of it. They certainly had him outnumbered there, North Melbourne, and Doolan stands the mark with his hands on hips. 23-point margin to the Kangaroos. Kicks McKernan, last leap at it, over his head. Goes through Harvey's hands. Archer runs hard at it. Fantastic. So does Simons. Terrific piece of play by the two youngsters. Pryor, very cool. Wanganeen now sizes up the opportunities. Kicks to centre half forward. Hurd last fly. Great mark. Buick in the goal square, one-on-one. The kick needs to be good. Buick gets rid of his opponent. Over the back to Dwyer, and Wallace there to put pressure on. Wallace smacks it back.
Well done by Wallace.
Calthorpe, is someone inside? His handball doesn't hit. Buick, pressure from Stevens. Does very well, Anthony Stevens, and then handballs it away. King tries to soccer off the ground again. There with Danaher. Martin gives it back, and King just belts it towards the general direction of Martin, but really the boundary line was the favourite.
And Anderson's gone off for North Melbourne, and coming on is Delanchenko. Played well the first quarter, Delanchenko. He's gone forward and being picked up by O'Donnell.
Under 14 minutes remaining. Wallace hurriedly onto the left foot. Straight up and down. Scott couldn't take it. Almost over the shoulder. But no play on as Shea Cockatoo Collins gets the hand pass away to Wanganeen. He floats a high kick in towards full forward, towards Buick and co once again. Ben Doolan is there also. And a throw-in will take place. Right forward pocket.
Gee, they really have put the whistle away on that deliberate out of bounds rule, haven't they?
Yes.
Well, one of the umpires that gave that controversial one last week is umpiring today. It's up at Brisbane Carl.
Delanchenko's hand pass slightly astray, taken by Wanganeen. Maybe costly because Wallace has taken the mark.
Again, the advantage of playing in front. Mercedes warming up for Essendon. I don't know who's going to come off. Maybe it's Buick.
Wallace had a shot at the other end in the third quarter. It was unsuccessful. A chance now for Essendon to cling to some hope, and you're right, Buick is coming off.
Interesting that Wallace has got the glove on the right hand. A lot of players use it on the left hand if you're a right foot kick, with the ungloved hand guiding the ball to the boot.
Kicking from 40 metres. Slight angle. Good kick. They're still in it. They're hanging on.
Well, it's important that Essendon win this. They'll go up to 8 games with North Melbourne. North Melbourne really want to win this to stay a game ahead of Brisbane. In second place, North Melbourne.
Back in the centre, McKernan thumps it 20 metres. Danaher runs off the square, runs through his legs to Freeborn. Freeborn spins the ball around in front. Great mark to Archer. Glenn Archer started off in defence, now moved up to the forward line during the third quarter, and the player on him, Simons, has been a very good player today for Essendon. Just slipped as the ball dropped. Glenn Archer hasn't kicked a goal, and this would really hurt Essendon if he can drill this one. Glenn Archer will kick from 30 metres. Kicks, forces it to the right a bit. There's enough noise at the back to suggest it's a goal.
It must have just scraped in.
His first goal to Glenn Archer, and the Northerners replied very quickly to that Wallace goal.
There wasn't any enthusiasm shown by Archer as he kicked the ball. Again, as Wallace did the other end, the advantage of playing in front shown by Archer.
So what can Essendon do out of the middle this time? Alessio will do the ruck work up against McKernan. Pryor went through without the football. An opportunity now for Dwyer. He dropped it like a hot potato. Robert Scott is also caught. $23 points the margin. But in these conditions, it could well be 40 points. Doolan towards Che Cockatoo Collins. Back towards Ben Doolan again. He gives it away to Berbakoff, who goes back to Calthorpe, who kicks to half forward. Hurd has it fisted away. Socket off the ground by Shea for a goal! And what a goal!
Well, they're going goal for goal here. They won't be denied, Essendon.
His second.
And Somerville coming on the ground for Essendon. As Sandy just mentioned, his second goal. Doolan once again has been a good player. And there he is off the ground.
The Essendon fans now lift their voice as that 45, 47 metre goal from Cockatoo Collins off the ground. And another bounce.
Brought a crowd of 31,515 to life.
Yes, it's probably a little bit less than what you thought, but the weather's well, it's rained all day. Very cold. Swash. Carey sets himself. Harvey with a great punch to Scott. Has to kick it quickly. Great fly. Oh, falls over the back to Janilchenko, and he's hooked it too far, so just a minor score. But an interesting score that, because now the margin back to 18 points, which is 3 straight goals, Don.
Yes, and points do make a difference. Dead right. In conditions such as this, points do make a difference, especially at this stage of the game.
O'Don to the outer side, and Barnard gives it off quickly to Pryor. Now Wanganeen. Gavin Wanganeen is on centre wing. They need the next one.
This shouldn't be happening as far as North is concerned. Unmarked players bringing the ball down the ground.
James Hurd is called to play on now. He's got to pull it round his body. Towards centre half forward, that wasn't Mercury. Now Crocker shovels it out the back door. Masiti was at the bottom, couldn't take it. It's tough in there now, and real desperation being shown by both sides. And in some areas, just be careful, maybe a little bit more desperation than others. Simpson and Wanganeen pick themselves up. Greg Scroop is the umpire there, officiating. McKernan got a hand to it. Masiti tried to get it away. No one going far.
Just reflecting on years gone by, what would it be today without the lights here at the MCG? It would be very, very black. It's a dirty day as far as Melbourne is concerned, but years gone by they would have played in these conditions.
Calthorpe gives it away. Here's an opportunity now for Michael Pryor. Steadies, but then it wobbles off the side of the boot down in towards the pocket region. Not out of it yet is Dwyer. He paddles towards the line. Again, there's a cry for deliberate, but it goes unheeded.
Boundary throw in. Martin and Somerville. Martin stands his ground in front. Brilliantly scooped up by Mercury. Barner, Masiti actually, over to Calthorpe. Now screws the ball back into the centre. Crocker, very good. Covered the ball in the middle and kings away. Belts away. Oh,
well
terrific
done,
stuff. Does it well. Gets it straight back to where it came from. Falls over the back. Running hard at it, Wallace.
Goes a free kick now. Melbourne coming back. The umpire bringing it back.
Doolan hasn't heard it. He's kicked the goal.
There's something happening behind play. Mercury, I think, will take the ball.
Mercury is the one that actually went for the mark in that contest originally, so it must have been manhandled in the air.
Actually, it was good umpiring because McKernan put his hand out to try and trip Alessio. The umpire paid the advantage, play on.
It was actually Robert Scott ran at it from the front and got him high with a fist in trying to punch the ball away. So with just over 8 minutes to go, Mark Mercury, generally a goal kicker, hasn't kicked one today. He's kicked 15 for the year so far though. Kicks. Oh, the goal umpire just wobbles a bit. Another goal to Essendon.
Been a solid player, second and third quarters. Mercury's always been a bit of a problem up there. The big question is whether Essendon can bridge this gap. And North have answered on every occasion.
88 plays 76. Who can win it out of the middle? Denham taken out of it. Socket off the ground. It comes wide towards centre wing. The race is on, and leading the way was Robert Scott. He flicked it round his body. Got assistance from Crocker. Pryor and Carey see it over the line.
They're efficient side, North, aren't they? They've been into their 50-metre line area 39 times compared to Essendon 56. So it's a fairly high percentage, but they do score well.
And interestingly enough, the scoreboard's just added 8,000 to the attendance. Obviously a lot coming in late. 39,515. Roberts can answer for North. Wobbles it forward and misses to the right, but it's a behind.
2 goals, 2 to Mark Roberts.
And it could be an important behind.
With their zone set up, North Melbourne, hands in the air, options covered. Harvey's by himself if they can go long. O'Donnell has gone long.
He's pushed that right down towards the middle, and a sensational mark by Stevens. Flicks it into the centre, and Wayne Schwass. A timely mark. North hanging on.
It's gone back to where it came.
Stevens from 55. Heads for home. Couple of them there. Archer was a flyer. Roberts was there, but Archer, with his strength, has the ball. And a little cramp. But if he can kick a goal, he won't feel that.
Wasn't upset by his teammate here. Archer goes for the ball. Is that Carey coming the opposite way? Definitely would have taken it. But Archer, who, like Carey, has only eyes for the ball. It's a great trait in conditions such as this.
Played every game this year, Glenn Archer. This is his 84th career game. A very important kick. This could just about seal it. He's a great kick. That's it, I think.
That's his second in this last quarter, Glenn Archer.
Tough now for Essendon as North moved to 14-11-95.
Well, they're going goal for goal, Sandy. I mean, there's only time, 6-7 minutes gone. The North have responded at every challenge that Essendon have thrown down. Trying to bridge the gap, Essendon. North equal to the task.
Yes, the margin back to 19 points. McKernan, what a leap! Goes down to Doolan. Wanganeen's been good. He really has tried to lift this side. Gives it off to Hurd. Players have to stand and wait.
Mercury.
Oh, the players really at this stage of the game aren't entitled to do this special stuff. So Mercury from 50 doesn't wait.
Beautiful
goes
kick.
for it and just misses. So the margin again back to 3 goals, 18 points. And we said, I think, really in that third quarter, Donna, it just looked like a 2 or 3 goal game, didn't it? Once North got those 2 or 3 up early, they've maintained that margin really almost throughout the game.
King brings it back towards McKernan and Alessio, and the latter takes the mark, plays off to Doolan, he's caught. Finds Calthorpe, however, from a standing start. He pumps it in towards Cockatoo Collins. Couldn't take it, was Shea. Now Scott for North Melbourne. Goes across the face of goal to the outer side. Fairley and Wallace. Fairley off the ground. And a throw in.
He'd be a hard man to play on, Ian Fairley. He's there week after week. He doesn't get many plaudits, but his efforts are recognised by North Melbourne because he's there week after week.
May contest the ruck work. Blakey is at the back there with Hurd. Socket off the ground by Simpson. Danilchenko will see it over the line. Jason Danilchenko kicked 2 goals in the first quarter. Blakey wins it. Fairley is at the bottom of that. Wallace is over him, and now they pick themselves up as Stevens copped one a little high. And at the bottom, James Hurd. Precious seconds ticking away for Essendon now. 3 straight kicks in it. Wanganeen again. It's a high kick. It's down in the forward zone towards Somerville. At the back is Che Cockatoo-Collins. They're still in it.
Gee, what a game. He won't be denied. That's his second goal. He dribbled his third goal. He dribbled his second, I think it was. Now he's first in the second quarter from a long way out along the ground. Willed it through. That's his second for this quarter. Che, here it is. Somerville in there contesting as a big man should. Ball to ground, reading it well, coming through. Not a problem for number 9.
The margin 12 points and just over 5 minutes to go. But Kernan wins that important tap again to Crocker. Goes forward to Archer.
Yes, it was important. That centre bounce down. He didn't jump early, didn't try and nullify his opponent. He got the ball forward, and the players recognising that by McKernan. They've gone back and congratulated him back in the centre square as Archer lines up for his third goal of the quarter and the match.
Yes, they've been really able to answer most of the challenges put by Essendon. And this man in the last quarters, as Don said, going for his third goal. Kicks from just inside 50. Oh, that's a good kick. That's a great kick. Oh. North lead by 3 goals. The 3 that Glenn Archer's kicked in this last quarter.
But that was a terrific kick because he really did jump into it and used every ounce of energy to have. Watch this, he jumps into that, really does give it a big boot. Gee, that was a terrific goal, a terrific effort, especially at this stage of the game.
So, it was a lovely long leg, Don.
Oh, magnificent.
What a great last quarter we're seeing here at the MCG in this round 12 clash. Who can get it out of the middle this time? Denham hangs on to Blakey. He's going nowhere.
Very dark here at the MCG. Just gone past the shortest day of the year.
Alessio, but straight down to Rock. He kicks to half forward, and again it's the strength of Archer. 60 metres from home. He lets it go with a long bomb. Carey! King Carey marks at the back.
This lead will be unassailable. They just can't match it now, Essendon. Carey will definitely kick it.
Good catch.
What a beautiful kick.
Ah, yes. They salute him. They salute their team. Kicked 1 in the first, 1 in the third. So he's hoping to get his first at this end of the ground. And he does. And that may be good night, Bombers. 3 goals to Wayne Carey. The Roos look home.
Well, the man in the last quarter certainly is Glenn Archer. But they got it out of the centre once again. Here it is, Rock. Archer sends a long torpedo. Beautiful kick. That's a beautifully executed torpedo. Carey running onto it and finishes it off.
They're back in the centre. The Bombers need 4 goals in 3.5 minutes. Alessio brings exciting in the centre. They've both won their share. Cockatoo Collins makes a desperate dive. King wants support from behind. The ball falls loose. Barnard runs onto it. Back to Cockatoo Collins. Now shoots. Hooks the ball around. That is a goal. That is a miraculous goal from Cockatoo Collins. They're still in it.
That's his 3rd goal, his 4th for the game, 3rd goal in the last quarter. This is unbelievable. But it's starting with Alessio and McKernan in the centre. Whoever gets the dominance there really does send their team on its way. And it was Alessio at that time. A great effort from Cockatoo Collins. You'll follow up. There's a tackle. Barnard out to Cockatoo Collins. Ball across the body. What an excellent kick.
3 minutes remaining. A chance for Masidi to go to the outer side. No mark taken. The Stevens is there. Simpson threw it to him. And the umpire said, yes, you did. That was Greg Scroop. So Michael Pryor will take the free kick on half-back. A matter of urgency now for Essendon. No question of that. McKernan couldn't take the mark. The Bombers have a chance as they push it down towards the forward line. Charging out was fairly in front of Wallace. Pokes it back towards the middle. They're still in it though. Mercury loses it but shovels it forward towards Wallace. He wanted to get it onto Simons. But locked up. And a ball up right on the Essendon 50-metre line.
Yes, North Melbourne by 18 points. Just over 2 minutes. Not impossible, but gee, it's hard work for him now. They really need a score from here. Hurd goes back to Pryor. Swings the ball back into the corridor. And McCurry's got it. So a goal here would be 2 goals to draw the game, that is, of course, in just under 2 minutes. Been a pretty good player too, Mark McCurry. He knows there's time is of the essence. Hurries it a bit. Doesn't matter. He's kicked it beautifully. Second goal this quarter to Mark McCurry.
He's had a great game, McCurry.
Yes, and the Bombers trail by 12 points.
He's got that stamp of class about him. He's been playing up in that forward line, forward pocket. Difficult position in which to play, but what he has done, he has done well. 20-odd possessions. Not a bad effort on the forward line or the forward pocket.
Well, we opened up with a 10-goal first quarter. So far, we've got an 11-goal final quarter.
Gee, it's important that someone gets it here. Somerville in against McKernan.
Somerville early. It's smothered off the boot. Socket off the ground down towards half forward for North Melbourne. O'Donnell overruns it. Danilchenko applies a sensational tackle. North have a chance through Archer. It's a left foot high kick. It goes into the pocket. No mark taken. Pushed towards the line and over.
Don, I think they needed that one out the centre there, didn't they?
Well, they did. That was good by Somerville. He got in there, but boy, those North Melbourne guys, they're just running. I think it was
left forward pocket.
Pick up who ran with that ball there.
McKernan in the sandwich. Freeborn towards full forward and Carey gives away a free kick.
Simpson, who really ran with the flight of the ball.
Harvey's got to be quick now. He goes to the outer side and Wanganeen. Time is the enemy. Danaher gives it off to Calthorpe. Floats it over the top to Denham. Back he goes to Calthorpe. He's run down in towards the middle. They need a score badly. O'Donnell goes inside 50. Can anyone take a mark? No, they can't. It's flicked wide. Cockatoo Collins is there. Can he produce some magic? David King tries to lock it up. Gets caught with Wallace. They pounce upon him. There'll be a ball up. 25 metres out from the Essendon goal.
Exciting stuff. They've looked gone a few times, Essendon, but each time they've fought back. So 35 seconds, 12 points. Archer just burst through. Danilchenko plays it on. Just finishing a little bit late.
My word.
And another pack of players.
Better to grab it. At least you retain possession of the ball and do something with it.
Still inside 50 for the Bombers. 2 straight kicks the margin. They're tired, they are desperate. As David King picks himself up, there's the siren. North Melbourne hanging on to record an excellent victory and take the 4 points. The final scoreline here at the MCG, North Melbourne 16-11-107 have defeated Essendon 14-11-95.